For President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, the pressure is on to address voters' key concerns.
They cheated like dogs. They cheated like nobody's ever cheated before.
Trump has been fixated on his past election loss, and he continues to repeat the false claim that the 2020 presidential election was stolen.
What they did in 2020 is disgraceful.
He's also openly embraced the rioters who stormed the Capitol on January 6th.
I call them the J6 hostages, not prisoners. I call them the hostages, what's happened, and it's a shame.
Even though Trump has repeated these claims for years, 65% of U.S. adults believe correctly that Biden won the election legitimately, the same number who believed that just before his inauguration. Views on the January 6 rioters, though, are much more complicated. According to a poll that was released on the third anniversary of the Capitol riot, Republicans were much less likely to believe the participants were mostly violent than they were 2 years ago. Democrats and independents have been much more consistent in their views. Meanwhile, as the oldest sitting president,
I know I'm 198 years old.
81-year-old Joe Biden has struggled to calm concerns about his age. He's tried dismissing them.
Take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? I guess I just forgot what was going on.
He's tried comparing his performance to that of 78-year-old Trump.
You gotta take a look at the other guy. He's about as old as I am, but he can't remember his wife's name.
He's even tried turning it into a joke.
When I was graduating from high school 300 years ago.
Still, polling shows that voters are concerned. 81% of U.S. adults think Biden is too old to serve another term. A smaller number, 55%, say the same about Trump. And then there is abortion. That's an issue Trump has dramatically shifted on over the years. Back in the 1990s, Trump said he was
Very pro-choice.
Then, as president, he spoke out in favor of a national 20-week abortion ban, with few exceptions.
I call upon the Senate to pass this important law and send it to my desk for signing.
He has since changed course, speaking out now in support of states determining their own laws.
We have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state.
Only 37% of U.S. adults agree with Trump's latest stance that abortion policy should be left up to the states. This issue has been a losing one for Republicans since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. 49% of voting-age Americans support federal laws to ensure abortion access. For Biden, while recent job numbers and slowing inflation point to a strong economy, Americans just aren't feeling it. Still, the president is trying to make the case that he's better on the economy than Trump.
He's never succeeded in creating jobs, and I've never failed. I've created over 15 million jobs since I've been president.
While inflation has slowed, it is still higher than when Trump was in office, and Biden has acknowledged that consumers, they are feeling the squeeze.
We know prices are still too high because of what I call greedflation and shrinkflation. I'm calling on corporations to pass their savings on to consumers, for God's sake. We're making real progress.
But polls show that the economy is still a top issue for Americans, and Biden is losing this argument to his opponent. More Americans trust Trump over Biden to handle both the economy and inflation. On these potential vulnerabilities for both candidates, the question remains, will their arguments ultimately win voters over?